Thanks, Elise. This team coming off a big win over Nebraska, coming on the heels of a players-only film session, holding themselves accountable after their second loss of the season, both overall and to USC. They try to move on to the Big Ten championship game to meet their crosstown rivals, but take on Ohio State. Here's Jaquez sprinting to the rim. She had a hot start yesterday, too.
Oh, she did. I mean, that was man-to-man defense that Ohio State opened the game with, and they are one of the best defensive teams, not only in the Big Ten, but in the country. They like to force you to speed your decision-making up. At that time, UCLA got right what they wanted in the paint.
Asia Petty from the elbow, no good. Jaquez can't control, but Taylor Theory does.
Taylor Theory is the X factor. That's what Kevin McGuff told us, and she came up huge, knocked in 3 triples from that left corner yesterday to separate things in a 1-point win over Iowa.
Jelani Gainbridge kissing it off glass.
And got that one to drop home smooth as you can be on that one. And Jelani Gainbridge, she's so steady. And Kevin McGuff said today at shoot-around, he said, you know, she possesses speed and she's probably one of the quickest players he's ever coached, but she doesn't lose control with that speed. A lot of players have speed but not control.
Angela Dugalić. The Buckeyes move on. They'll face this year's Coach of the Year in Lindsey Gottlieb in his 12th season in Columbus. It's Chance Gray.
Kevin McGuff has 2 daughters who are playing on the collegiate level, one at Bowling Green and the other at Butler.
Cody McMahon with the steal. Was reading that lob inside, intended for Betts. Jelani Gainbridge. Bruins, Elise alluded to it. This is a program looking to advance past back-to-back Sweet 16 finishes. What kind of momentum they'd be able to carry winning a Big Ten championship as they look to mark the program's first Final Four. Maybe this is the year it happens.
She holds herself accountable on so many levels to keep every single one of her players on task. And she says we have to be connected. We have to play inspired basketball and be selfless with that. And how do we handle disappointment? Do we pout or do we get to the next play? You have to have amnesia. We're on to the next thing. It's a life lesson.
The Bruins breaking the Buckeye press. It is smothering, all-consuming. And Londynn Jones may have a small frame, but she is tough.
Oh, she's a toughie. 3 championships at the high school level. There, high school.
Petty there from the mid-range. She can knock it down from there.
Yeah, now they can apply their pressure. And this is what makes Ohio State so good when they can get stops out of it. But Barker just dribbled right through it that time.
Wide open. Jaquez draining the 3. And UCLA.
Got to massage the defense down and shrink it with some dribble drives like that.
Like Gainbridge leaves it way short. But maybe in action they'll go back to.
And 18% from 3. But they got viable stops, and that game was close, Sloan. So if they can get some shots down and rely on their staunch and stout defense, they'll be in good shape.
Kiki Rice just unstoppable with her force to the rim.
Kiki Rice, I don't say her name enough, I don't think. I mean, for being the playmaker that she is, in terms of being the initiator, but great defender. She sweeps this one up.
She won 1, but she will Euro to the rim. Timeout called by Ohio State. 25 seconds, and we're good to go.
Well, she's an impact, right? And she takes a lot of pride in what she does and plays with full-on force.
We're going to have a similar impact here. National Player of the Year campaign on. And a turnover by the Buckeyes.
And with her presence alone, right in front of the rim was a rim protector. And that one, you saw Cody McMahon trying to go behind her outstretched arms, and that was just a tough angle to finish.
Barker looking inside, will kick it out to Mia Gardner. Perfect from 3.
Gardner was solid in the game yesterday. Just a relief point, right? Stretching the floor from range. Viable defender.
Lauren Betts was asked after the game the results after their players-only meeting. She said, it turned out great. We were kind of able to hold each other accountable to what we needed to do better. To Mia Gardner. 2 minutes play in the first quarter. UCLA operating smoothly here, offensively and defensively. Even without Lauren Betts getting much play early on. Here's Janiah Parker one-on-one against Cody McMahon, and she gets the upper hand. that matchup. That is two fierce players, fierce competitors. Jelani Gainbridge flips it up, and she is fouled. Barker said she wanted to play with other great players and reaping the rewards of that. Big Ten men's basketball tournament in just a couple days right here in Indianapolis. Thursday and Friday on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. The final day of the regular season is coming up. And all will be sorted out. Michigan State already the regular season champions, 11 for coaches. Betts getting it into paint against the undersized Ebony Walker. Leaping into the paint.
Let go of a couple games they wish they hadn't. She said Gabs is playing angry hoops, and she's at her best when she is like that.
Taylor Fury tries to flip it up and in, a little chaotic, trying to secure the possession. 4 seconds separating shot and game clock.
But that's what we've seen, right? We've seen Cody McMahon try to go behind those long arms of the 6'7" Lauren Betts inside and come up empty. And again, she changes so many shot mechanics with her presence alone.
UCLA taking it down. Armasolo getting downhill. Lauren Betts tries to clean it up. Fury trying to pull it away. Armasolo at the buzzer for the shot clock. It's good. That is the end of the first quarter, and what a start for the UCLA Bruins.
Ohio State only has 8 points in total, but that's right. They got to get a piece of the paint, commit Ohio State to the ball, shrink the floor, and attack from the outside. And here's that drop coverage again. You see Lauren Betts not leaving the paint on Petty. That creates a bugaboo for everyone else who wants to drive in there for Ohio State.
McMahon hits the long two, but you are exactly right. As McMahon gets her first points, the Buckeyes, like Gainbridge, like McMahon, love to drive into the paint.
Yeah, and if she's standing in there, I'm not going in there either. I mean, sitting in the paint.
Jaquez dials up another three. She's a perfect 4 for 4 from the field.
Keeping Kiki Rice outside of the lane. And that's shell drill principles there.
Back-to-back long twos for McMahon.
She wasn't established at the point of contact of that screen, and that's why that was whistled an infraction.
Betts has not attempted a shot in this game, yet UCLA with a big lead here. There's the first. She's 1 for 1.
And get your own touch. Ohio State has been very good. No easy passes.
Petty from the mid-range. Seeing a lot of that from Ohio State because of how the paint looks with Betts right there.
I would like to see Petty challenge inside with Betts, and Betts is certainly challenging.
The opportunities have been there. This, as he said, taking advantage.
Yeah, but they had 24 assists in their game yesterday, so it's more of the connectivity and rhythm and spacing that has afforded them those clean looks, and they're, like Kevin McGuff matter-of-factly said, they're knocking them in. So it's the continuity and the spacing. Look, with Betts out, it's a 5-out situation, or 4-out, 1 in, with Barker trying to get a good look again, with Petty sitting straight behind her. Ooh,
Barker fading away, but Jaquez is right there to clean it up. Jaquez so incredibly active. She's got 12 points to lead all scores.
And that was easy money right there, and effortless climbing the ladder.
Chance Gray coming up with a big 3 for the Buckeyes. That's their first
in transition like that with a straight line drive.
And with Lauren Betts on the bench as well, not patrolling the paint.
Yeah.
Tonight Parker faces up too powerful as she goes to the cup.
She's just so tough. Solid left hand finish there. There's Jelani Gainbridge going downhill, but she's got to get under control to finish.
Things looking a little out of sorts for Ohio State, but Taylor Fury will put it in her own hands for 2. Lauren Betts is back. She hasn't even had a major impact on this game. 4 points, and they still have this lead. Kendall Dudley making the extra effort, finds a cutting Kiki Rice, who slashes to the rim.
Here's Jelani Gainbridge. Let's see if they can try to get some screens. And there's some screens. A little cross screen, a little pin down. Back screen for her, trying to free the cross match.
Gainbridge over Lauren Betts. That is no fear from the Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
But it was more movement by Ohio State offensively. They were setting and creating opportunities with their screen.
And they strip Betts, smothering her. Gainbridge pulls up, drains the mid-range, and Ohio State trying to get back in business. business here in Gainbridge.
Jelani Gainbridge is at the point of her freshman campaign where she just says, why not me? I'm ready for the moment.
Into Lauren Betts one-on-one against the 6'6" freshman, and she comes out on top. James Gray leaving it on for Lemila, too strong, and she's going to foul Tamia Gardner.
The nail and draining that one with a nice swish.
Jelani Gainbridge up to 8 points, just had 6 yesterday as Lauren Betts coolly answers inside. Fury slices through, can't get the roll. UCLA's offense, meanwhile, is humming. 8 different Bruins have a bucket today. 8 different Bruins have an assist today as well.
Yeah, they're shooting 64% from the floor and 60% from 3. So they're getting it done effectively on all levels.
7 seconds to shoot for Betts, guarded by Petty. Draws the attention, gives it up to Jones, who's prolific from 3. Ebony Walker playing her most minutes now, looking to spark this team. The mid-range is left short. 9.2 seconds left.
Well, 12 assists on 19 made shots, and here's a great assist. There was a double team that came down in front of Lauren Betts, and she is a fantastic playmaker.
Londynn Jones gets it to full, and UCLA operating on all cylinders in the first half. I think we can all imagine how fiery that halftime locker room must have been. It reminds me of when this team lost to previously winless Penn State. Tony McMahon said there were too many stretches of no fight and no grit. This was a wake-up call. We'll see if they can tap into that.
Yeah, I remember that Penn State game, and I had them right after that. And I remember Kevin McGuff saying we did about 10 things wrong in the fourth quarter.
Londynn Jones is going to pick up her 3rd foul, but look at this breakdown. 22 points in each of the first 2 quarters for UCLA. Ohio State has 21 overall, but they add to it here. Her career high 33 points a couple games ago. Trying to find that rhythm since is Londynn Jones finding rhythm from 3-point range for the Bruins.
Man, the fluidity of her release and mechanics is so pretty to watch.
Disruptive defensively too.
And Jones has just been lightning in a bottle for UCLA right now on both sides.
Jelani Gainbridge gets downhill and to the cup.
She's shying away from it or trying to flip behind it, and she's not making those shots because she's taking the power off the shot by leaning away. She's a power player, and she's got to utilize that with forward motion.
Betts drops it off. Dugalić. There's another 3.
And a great clip, 6 of 11 right now from range for UCLA.
Jelani Gainbridge pulls up. The best rebounding team in the Big Ten, one of the best in the nation, pulls that down. Dugalić is fouled by Cody McMahon, trying to keep pace. That'll be her first.
Let's look at this staggered screen right here. It's going to be on that weak side, trying to free up Jones, and she read it perfectly. 10 toes down behind the line. Ugh, snuggled that one home for good measure for the Bruins. But that's the kind of execution that has been really good for UCLA.
Londynn Jones, her 3rd 3. She's got 13 points. Kiki Rice able to snatch it away, and right after the timeout, Ohio State turns it over. Bad gets worse for the Buckeyes. Add to that statement, Lauren Betts wide open underneath.
To the chagrin of the entire coaching staff of Ohio State.
Another steal snatched away. It's Kiki Rice.
You just have to play with discipline right now, and you can just see the frustration on the faces of the coaching staff for Ohio State. And that sequence of events, the turnover right out of the timeout, the cross match and finish by the Bruins, and then yet another bucket by Rice. You see she has that KT tape on that right shoulder, missed a couple of games early on this season with that shoulder injury, but she has been fantastic.
Approaching 5 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. UCLA continues to put on a clinic.
Obviously, had a fantastic high school career at Sidwell Friends.
Londynn Jones is in pain right now. She can barely stand, holding back tears in her eyes as she's backpedaling on defense. Lauren Betts is going to drop it through, and Gainbridge is going to need a break out of this game.
Oh, no.
Madison Green in as the point guard. It's a 12-0 run for UCLA, who have not taken their foot off the gas by 1 percentage point. Kennedy Gainbridge trying to flip it up. Janiah Parker has a pro rebound there.
Yeah, no question. I mean, you've got Dugalić down in there with Barker. I mean, not a lot of daylight to make a play right in front of the rim, and when they have their presence on the interior for UCLA. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, you add Lauren Betts to that mix. I mean, it's the size across the board.
Slice inside, making it a little flashy by Angela Dugalić. First time these two teams met in early February. It was a 65-52 UCLA win in Westwood. We're seeing history repeat itself here to a different degree. Taylor Fury from long range knocks it down. Just the second today for Ohio State.
Yeah, and that's tough, right? I mean, Taylor Fury really came alive yesterday in the game for the Buckeyes. Knocked in 3 triples.
Londynn Jones knocking in another for UCLA.
So taking a look at it. Oh, there's a bump there. Mercy.
Hopefully nothing too serious, because McMahon is one of the best competitors to watch in this conference with how ferociously she plays, her power, her talent.
You see some zone now by UCLA, and then Taylor Fury going right to that nail area and attacking with the smooth jumper. Oh boy, I hope Cody McMahon is all right. I mean, I have extreme concern for her right now, as well as Jelani Gainbridge, who went out a little earlier, if you're just joining us, with the lower leg injury.
Dugalić.
Oh, I'm sorry, 60% from 3 and 63% from their 2s. They have just been a machine on the offensive side.
Betts gets a piece of that one. She hasn't even had to be a major presence. A quiet 12 points on 6 of 7 shooting, 6 rebounds. As that is poked away, stolen. 2 seconds left for Gray. She's going to heave it up, and we head to the 4th quarter.
And they put a heat sleeve on it, but then in this last timeout, as you can see, taking her back into the locker room. Obviously, this is far from the last game for Ohio State. They're going to be headed to the NCAA tournament. They're going to need to be as healthy as possible for a deep run, guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is something you don't want to see. Obviously, out of your control, the injury bug taking a bite out of Ohio State's 2 top starters in terms of percentage and production.
Their 2 leading scorers.
And impact, yes.
McMahon is also their emotional and vocal leader as well, whether it's in huddles or on the floor. Nikki Blue as well. Lindsey Plummer, you saw in that picture as well, is a great post player back during that time.
I love it. Noel Quinn, the head coach of the Seattle Storm currently, and played in D.C. for the Mystics as well.
The 3 is going to fall, as they have throughout today for the Bruins.
It has been just a machine to watch. UCLA, the depth that they bring to the court has really been amazing as well. I mean, everyone has come in. You can see what the discipline and philosophy of Corey Close is. There's no drop-off in execution. They're playing the game the right way. They're unselfish.
Londynn Jones now with 7, make it 8.
You have to learn how to handle disappointment. Those 2 games were disappointing showings. And they've got to get it together mentally. Particular game early on, especially in that first half. And they're probably not going to switch a lot.
Gymnastics when Olympian Jordan Childs and the Big Ten champion Bruins.
In this game against Ohio State on both sides of the floor.
And from the time the ball was tipped, that was the demeanor of this UCLA team, and they still are not letting their foot off the gas. It was apparent from the very beginning of this game how UCLA intended on competing, and that dominance apparent.
And she also said she wanted to end their defensive possessions with rebounds, and rebounding has been solid. Of course, then they turn it over right there.
Londynn Jones sitting at 6 threes, playing it out here, the final 1 minute and 30 seconds. That's stolen away by Kennedy Gainbridge. She's been playing with consistent effort in her time on the floor, blows past everyone to the rim. And Elsa Dugalić earns a three-point play opportunity. UCLA sets a new NCAA-era single-season win record for most since 1980-1981. That is what 29 wins would mean for the UCLA Bruins. Londynn Jones lets it fly in and out.
Not many of them have been out, I will say. A lot of them have been in.
Chance Gray puts that one down from long range.
Plus 34, man. UCLA just came in and dismantled Ohio State defensively first, and then they were able to pay it off with efficient offense, shooting well over 60% before they took their starters off the floor, but still in the low 50 percentile from two, which is quite amazing. I mean, they were shooting 63% from the floor and 60% from three before the starters took a seat, as well as Barker, the 6th player of the year in the Big Ten. They got to rest for the entire fourth quarter as they head to the championship game tomorrow against USC.
Jones has that rim in and out. 6 seconds left. It is a jump ball.
That hashtag that Corey Close said they have as a team. Yep. Tap into that and stay locked into it. See if you can right the wrongs.
It is a crosstown rivalry for the Big Ten championship as UCLA moves on for a shot at the postseason trophy.